gaming bets. Online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2? Make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO? Guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quest for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are currently in a little bit of a pause, which is about to just come off, so never mind. Forget I said anything. Welcome back, Harry. And welcome back, Team Spirit versus LDLC. It looks like we missed the knife round. Oh well, it's not going to be the end of the world. We've got Team Spirit starting on the CT side, and LDLC starting on that all-wonderful T side.
Yeah, Davkos gonna get flashed in. Coldy as well, gonna be going aggressive out towards long now. Existence does find a nice bit of damage out on him early on at least, and as a result, able to fall back. Davkos though quick to try and trade things back and do some damage of his own. Does deal with Maniac as he falls over towards long. Now they've got to worry about Misto, who's still over here towards the corner. Finally, it reveals his position and peeks out. He's going to pay the price for it as Davkos just lighting them up, knocking them down. Elsewhere, it's going to be Sophic to find one. The trade doesn't come through. Existence, hello, he's going to fall as well as Sophic pushes up aggressively. It is now all on Alex, 1v5, and now he's dead because the life of a UKCS player is incredibly short-lived. 1-0, Team Spirit, they pick up the pistol once again, looking poised to be able to pick up these first three if they can convert the anti-ecos, and that's going to land them in a very good spot to start things off on cobblestone.
We are going to have the trusty umps, the five-man ump buy in this round. Existence actually going to go for quite a bit of utility, choosing to do that over any sort of Kevlar. This is quite a risky buy coming in from Spirit, clearly feeling very confident, obviously after clean sweeping the pistol round. That is likely to happen, but we'll see whether or not this actually pays off for them. Obviously the UMP, it is the meta. I feel like I've said that so many times now, but it just seems to be cropping up all over the place. I won't be surprised to see it numerous times during IEM. In fact, maybe that will be the thing that brings it to the nerf. If we could just see a full game played with only UMPs, then maybe it'll just be like that sort of...
You know what? I could see me and you seeing that, Tom. But yeah, Davkos going to find that first one out of Existence over at long. These UMPs doing so much damage. And well, that's going to be the Tech 9s. You know, the other strongest thing in the damn game that shouldn't be so strong, running in towards B. Let's see what's stronger. The UMP looks to be just that as he shuts it down. Coldy going to get 3. And yeah, the UMP wins the nerf battle. And as a result, Valve next patch make it unusable, just like you did the CZ and the R8. Let's go. 2-0 right now for Team Spirit. They'd be farming up a nice bit of cash on the UMPs. I mean, Davkos and Coldy particularly going to be sitting pretty on a nice tidy amount of cash. LDLC, no bomb plants either. This round is where they're going to be really at the mercy of the UMPs, just running into something through the meat grinder, looking like lambs to the slaughter as they get ripped to pieces by the 9mm submachine gun. Not a pretty sight, Tom. Not a pretty sight.
Do I want to see them do? I think they should swap the price of the Tech 9 and the R8. Make the R8 500. I think it would just be funny to see it come in every once in a while. But, well, it's going to cut me off. It's going to be the quick trade over towards Drop Sophic. No fear! Just runs in and sprays down 3. So much money has just been made over on this Spirit side because obviously a gun that powerful has to give you a huge money reward as well. $600 in the bank for every kill you get. Davkos, he's going to pick up an AWP, but the rest of the team are just sticking with those umps versus the AK buy. They should still have enough to buy in the next round anyway, so that will be nice for them. And then we are going to have, well, quite a bit of utility on the CT side. The T's lacking a little bit, and actually a couple of players with no head armor as well. Against these umps, that could be catastrophic.
Yeah, I'm not entirely convinced they're ready for the 4 UMP, 1 AWP strategy, but we are looking like Call of Duty right now. SMGs and a singular sniper across the board. Davkos looking to try and land some some of the dankest of quick scopes. Does look like LDLC going to be focusing a lot of their attention now through mid, pushing up over towards ramp. Now Solfik's already been tagged. He's fallen on back to hold a more passive angle. Pop Flash is going to be raiding on in, and they've hit their mark for the most part. But Alex and Tuano, they don't care. It's all on Davcast to hold down A. He's been isolated over towards long, able to find Existence. The PT-50 up against Existence's soft, fleshy cranium with no head armor on it is going to be prevailing. But it's going to be all on Davcast 1v4, trying to reorientate himself over towards long. Now Maniac's watching that corner, should be able to win this duel, and Davcast already looking like he wants to fall on back. Has dropped the AWP for the AK over in mid, going to look to try and pick that up and escape with his life, and that will be LDLC picking up their first round here. 3-1, but Team Spirit did not invest anything into this round, and if Davcast can keep the... never mind, but you know, they didn't invest much regardless. So the AWP being the only thing that was bought up into that round, it means they've got enough money to buy another one and still invest fully into this.
Yeah, it will be, well, relatively clean as well for the LDLC side. Going to be keeping 4 players alive, picking up the AWP as well. Distance doesn't have a gun. Wait, it looks like Alex is going to drop him one, so that's absolutely fine. A little bit more money spent. And obviously there's still the potential for the CTs to actually break them straight back. Now, obviously they have spent up pretty much all of that money they made. The bonus round doesn't pay off, but that's absolutely fine. As long as they capitalize on this round. If they then lose this round, then LDLC are going to be very, very happy going into the sort of next few rounds, as they will get a little bit of a freebie going into round number 6.
It looks like they want to focus their attention towards drop now. Team Spirit playing this very passively. We often see teams punish for this time and time again. Kabak, and if you remember yesterday, Tom, up against Space Soldiers, he gave up drop every single time early on, and they were very quick to exploit that on the Space Soldiers side. LDLC, of course, going to be no different, driven by, oh, never mind, Kabak is going to deal with Misto. They do get control of it, but they somewhat squander it away. They walk into the waiting arms of these B players and end up paying the price for it. Alex is going to be pushing through the smoke. Demon's not ready for it. We'll find one. No, finds the second as well. That's going to open up this B side in a tremendous way. You can see Tuano trying to rotate back around. Existence might be tagged down low, but for the time being, he's safe. On the other side of that smoke, Kabak has been backed into the corner here. We'll go out wide for the peak. Able to find Existence as he can't quite connect that shot. Now it's Alex on the site. He's already found 2. He's already been the player to make this round semi-possible as it finds Kabak, and he's going to be on 3, looking for a 4th. He's done so much damage now. And they line up for him, going to be able to find Sofik. It's all on Davcast. And Tuano wins that AWP duel. An amazing play by Alex, repping the UK. Gotta love him. But 3-2 right now for LDLC is somehow they pull that round back.
Yeah, and this is where the problems sort of begin for the CT side. They did so well with those UMPs in the previous round, but ultimately those were just pistol follow-up rounds, and this means that they're going to be back to, well, pistol rounds. They're only going to have that for this at least, and then in the next one they should have a buy coming back up. Now Davcast has a little bit of extra money, 2,400 will put him to that 5,500 mark, which will just about give him an AWP and some Kevlar, and even a decoy if he's lucky. And then if he can get any kills in this round with that CZ, he'll get a little bonus. Obviously the CZ has been nerfed in the amount of money it makes. We should see that for a few other guns, you know? Val, hello?
An interesting strategy, Tom, that I'd like to see is maybe instead of Valve nerfing the UMP, if they make every other gun in the game stronger, so that by comparison the UMP is now worse. I think that'd be interesting. Give the AK 15 more bullets, make the M4 an instant kill headshot. You know,
what you're trying to say is, rather than fixing the game, make everything else broken.
Well, no, because then they could just keep doing that until eventually it would just be crazy, but it'd be amazing.
Until eventually you shoot someone through a wall and they get hit for 999 damage.
First to 6k just buys a nuke and then they win. That's it.
No, that's Call of Duty. We're not going down that road.
But yeah, I mean, this round they're just looking to try and do damage. Alex able to find one, as you were about to say before I interrupted you so diligently. Alex has been put back into a 2-on-2s. They've done a lot of damage. Something on the flank, looking to try and win this one as he picks up yet another frag. Now Tuano is able to deal with Kabak, but he's still locked in the 1-on-1. He hears Sofik fall. His little pitter-patter of his little tiny feet there in towards drop, giving that away. Sofik, of course, a size 3 shoot. The tiniest of pitter-patters still, but Tuano hears it. And now it's going to be looking over towards drop down, playing things around this statue. Going to fall back towards Chicken Coop. It's a nice angle to hold when you know where this enemy is. And both of them so incredibly close to death, but Sophic only has to land one bullet, as does Tuano in the AWP, but nearly spotted him there. It has to watch out. He has to check over towards Ivy. No one's there. He can out wide. First to the check platform. It's the most standard kind of plant. There's very little time left. I don't even think he has enough time if he does find the frag, so it will just be a save. He'd like to try and keep Tuano on the site. Tries to bait it out with a defuse, but there's no time. Gonna go for the knife, maybe? No, just gonna go for the smart play. That makes sense. And gonna die anyway, so...
Yeah, both players will go down, at least making things very, very costly. Now, you have to remember that was only pistols for the side of Team Spirit, so to take every single player down, that's absolutely wonderful. They've done more than they should have done. It's just because it came so close, you sort of hope, oh, maybe he spams a bullet through, gets a little bit lucky, and then Team Spirit actually get the round, but... Hey, they're going to go into this one after making every single player on the T side rebuy, keeping the money very close for both teams, and the winner of this round is likely to get the next ones. Ooh, Davcost got away with one there.
Yeah, everybody gets one. Now, Davcost over towards long, doesn't want to try and repeat that, instead just falls on back to hold it passively. Right now, LDLC having 3 players over towards B, looking like they're going to try and take down control of drop. Kabakin falls on back. Once again, going to be opting for his very, very passive style of play. Kabakin looking more like Fullbacken as he makes his way up towards Rock. Oh, God, that was terrible. But, yeah, he's had to fall on back. Relinquish control of drop for the time being over towards LDLC, and they're not going to be capitalizing on it just yet. They do keep one player here in the form of Misto, and that's good because he can now rotate down and just watch for the connector control. That's going to make rotating off of this B site a much longer, much more difficult process when the push eventually comes in over towards A. I mean, it's only Davcost here to hold things down. They do now just rotate up Sophic, but the timing might allow them to be able to find something here. Now, Davcost able to find one. He's going to go very, very quick and aggressive on this flank. Sophic's been able to get down over towards SWAT van as well in existence. It's going to be in a good position to try and shut down a few of these rotating players. Gets one, but doesn't account for Demo, who's hot on his heels. Should better get that frag, and it will quickly be turned into a 2-on-3. Sophic will fall, but Spirit's there to refrag, and then in comes Demo with the AK in hand. He was able to scavenge off of Existence's body, finds Tuano, and that's a 4-3 scoreline now with Team Spirit back in the lead. They also succeeded triumphing over the economy of LDLC, and like you say, I mean, that round basically was a 2-for-1, right?
Wow. Normally, I would have said yes, but look at the buy. It's those... Well, there's those damn Tech 9s. They're back in play again. Likely to see a quick push into drop down, and, well, they're just going to go for this split. Try and get down. Kabakin is going to be overwhelmed very quickly, but Miso is going to even up the scoreline once again as he takes down his teammate. Boldy is trying to do work over towards the side, but actually these weapons are working wonderfully. These Tech 9s, these pistols that Olaf Meister pretty much brought into fashion. Now we're going to have Sophic pushing back in with the new gun of choice. The UMP picking up 2 kills already, down to just Maniac, and he'll run, gun, even jump. But it will be Davcost to steal the kill away as they just about win that round.
That was poetic, Tom. Run, gun, even jump. It was like kids' poetry, but a terrifying, terrifying reality. 5-3, though, Team Spirit, they do manage to pick that one up. The Tech 9 is doing some serious damage, but ultimately it means that LDLC still have to grit their teeth here and go for yet another eco. So, you know, did they really gain too much out of that? They did damage the CT side economy, but they've still got time now to build it up that much more. And never mind, they're going to go for another force. Let's try and catch them when they don't expect it. I mean, Team Spirit, in all fairness, haven't really gone for anything that, you know, can't triumph over this. I think LDLC thinking that they might opt to go for some sort of SMG buy into this one to farm some money up. And while that is a smart move, Team Spirit have opted instead just to go for the rifles. They're going to try the aggression. It's going to be put back number 4-4. Kabakin able to find himself an exit. Be able to turn the advantage back in favor of Team Spirit. Now, LDLC have got control of plat, but they're trying to exhaust their options on this site, and it's not going to work out. Existence does go down. Coldy through the smoke lands a lot of damage out of Maniac, and then he finds them both. That's 3 frags for him into that round. And LDLC, are they finally going to eco? Please.
I think this time they have to. In the previous round, I can understand why they went for a little bit of a gamble. They wanted to get back in the game quicker, and also there was the idea, okay, we dropped 3 players, there's only 2 standing. If we then win this round, they're going to be hurting. Instead, with 4 players surviving, there is no reason to force up again. You would have to have some sort of problem. Maybe, you know, BMK from Bulgaria and just love to force by every single round. I still remember casting them on Mirage and literally wanted to punch my monitor because of how many times they force sport. But no, there is some restraint on LDLC. That's bringing back bad memories, I'll be honest. You can almost hear it in my voice. Davcost is going to end the life of one more of these pistols. But not really expecting too much in this round. Team Spirit already looking at that sort of 7-round marker. I think they're going to be pretty happy going into this already, and anything more should be just gravy.
Yeah, just gravy on top of the perfect roast. And, well, I mean, it's going to go down towards me. I know you did. I fancy I haven't had a roast in a while, but it's all on Misto. Could this cast get more British? Quite possibly. Quite possibly so.
Do you know what's the worst thing? When you said more British, I then thought of fish and chips, and now I'm even more hungry.
Just ride down to the fish and chippy on your penny farthing, and I don't know.
Oh, what do you mean? I got a horse and carriage. God.
I wouldn't argue that's that British.
I think that's
well, I mean, it
British.
is, but like, it's, I don't know, man. It's, yeah, no, okay, I'll give you that. Guys, what's the most British thing in chat? UKCS question. You can go ahead and let us know.
Tea.
Yeah, I know. Everyone's like, everyone goes with tea, and I just find that answer to be terrible.
I actually don't like tea or coffee.
I mean, okay, I like tea. Okay, but I like. That's not even how like you're meant to drink tea. I drink tea the way that like Swedes drink tea. I don't put milk in anything. My Swedish friends love me for that, by the way.
Apologizing. That's Canada. That's not British.
Oh no, dude! British people apologize a lot. Like,
okay, I'm sorry.
If you walk near, if you walk near someone in the street, it actually happened today. My girlfriend walked near someone, she went sorry, and then the person she said sorry to went yeah sorry, and I'm like, why? What did you both do wrong?
Queuing.
Nothing.
I like that one. Queuing's a good one. Okay, we better get back into the game and stop talking about
Guys, you're
British
fantastic. This chat's perfect. But yeah.
Full breakfast is a good one as well. Okay, I've got to stop. Chat, stop. Stop. We've got Cody up close and personal. Gonna be... Go over towards drop where the trades happen initially. Existence getting themselves back into a 4 vs 4. Obviously on the T side, that's normally quite beneficial. They don't have a whole lot of utility though. That's the big problem that they have at the moment. I'm just gonna be waiting to see whether they can actually utilize the Molotovs that they have to get themselves into a site. We have actually seen almost a full rotation as well. Betoina with the peak will take down Kavak, and Sopvik going to move straight into the same angle, saying anything you can't do, well, I can do it better, and he will take that kill, bringing it back to the 3 vs 3. Rotation, interestingly, from Existence is the one that I want to be watching, though, because he's just pushing up long, taking control. They've still got Cody in the corner, so going to be pretty confident in their position. He's actually going to pop flash himself out. He goes down. This round could quickly swing in the favor of this CT side. And actually, he's going to be thinking that it's over towards A because of what Existence did on the fake.
Yeah, now Misto thankfully does stampede around like a wild elephant out towards platform. Will prevent Coldy from going down just yet. He will instead fall on back, try to hold this angle, and just wait for them to push into the site. There's only 15 seconds left. Bob's going to try and get across. I mean, Coldy could potentially just deny this, and Alex now going in for the push, probably apologizing for arriving late to the site. And Misto with a nice flick, finds that shot. Now it's all on Coldy. 1v3, Existed through the fire and flames, going to get that refrag, and it does pay off. It will be 7-4 secured. LDLC, they find themselves around, but it has to be more than just a stray round, a singular anomalous kind of round in amongst the sea of rounds that have been coming up the way of Team Spirit. There's still plenty of money on that CT side. They won't be able to invest next round. LDLC need to take this to succeed finally in ruining that CT side economy.
Gonna look. See whether or not they can continue this though. The T's are on the brink themselves. Both teams with an economic drought coming in. Well, Topfig this time taking a little bit more of an aggressive angle. They've gone a little bit heavier over towards the A side. Obviously, we saw them with only one player actually on the site in the previous round. This peak from Existence. Oh, he's just holding the angle, and it's going to be Davkos. Just gets him very low on HP as well. Existence nearly pulling that one off. Actually, Sopvik's going to take down Toino in the meantime. They're losing quite a few players. Sopvik, he's going to get caught. Maniac will be able to trade, and actually Davkos very low on the site as well. We'll leave this with just him on the site. But the bomb looks to be rotating back? I'm not even sure what they're doing at this point in time.
I mean, I don't think they do either. Now bomb's returning to B, and instead it's just going to be left kind of in the connector in mid. Coldy pushing up towards plat. Team Spirit equally as confused as you and I, but doesn't matter. Coldy will be able to find heads regardless. Alex going to get one, looking for a second. He is killing them with anything but kindness or apologies. Instead, it's going to be 7.62 rounds out of his AK-47 as he makes his way out towards A, now wrapping around over towards B. You can see they've got Coldy to watch this angle. And if Alex can clear it, though, this is their taking towards a B site well and truly underway. You can see that Davkos is left alone. Coldy has to refrag here. Does get that one. Now it's all on Maniac. He's been able to get the bomb. Tries to cross to the site. Coldy just trying to play things a little bit safe, but wants to try and deny the plant. Has to buy time for Davkos to rotate in. There's very little time left. The Maniac likes to go for the peak. This is the round over here. He cannot do this unless he finds both these frags. And ultimately, all Coldy is to do is not peek. And there we go. It will be an 8th round. And Maniac goes down after the time as well. That's a little bit more economic pain they're going to be feeling now over on the T side. And as a result, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they do just... oh, no, I mean... Wait, let me think. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they go for the Force here. But no, instead, gonna go for the Eco instead. I guess maybe Eco this round, pistol armor next, but fully buy for the last of the half? Maybe? Or just fully buy next? Potentially Eco for the last round of the half? I don't know, Tom. I don't know. I don't know what goes on inside of Existence's head.
I don't think many people do. That's why he was always so difficult to read. Either way, gonna be, as you said, that sort of eco round scenario. Now, going into the next one, I feel like they need to get a bomb plant, otherwise it's still not going to be a particularly good buy. They will be able to get AKs, but that's about it. Alex getting a kill will help him out a little bit in terms of monetary situation, but I don't think anybody else is going to get anywhere near the site. They've now got Dima set up over towards the stairs. It would have to be quite a big mistake from him to go down, and it's just not going to happen. He'll tap away. 9-4 up. Team Spirit looking very, very strong now over on their CT side, and it is going to be the buy coming in. Existence going to go for that utility play while getting a UMP, and this is sort of just what you see nowadays. It's like, okay, well, the UMP is so effective, why not just buy it and make sure we have plenty of nades to play with it? I don't like it, I have to say. I think it's exciting that we get to see a lot more buys, but I just don't like that there could be a weapon that is not only so much better than the SMGs, but actually better than some of the rifles that cost double the price.
They push over towards B, though, through the smoke. Dima gets one. He continues the aggression. How is he able to get that second? Finally, Misto shuts him down, but still Alex will fall in the meantime. And look at this, LDLC falling on back away from B. It's already too far gone. They don't want to push on out into a ever more confident Team Spirit lineup. Instead, they fall on back, looking to try and play things a little bit more passively. They've got 2 AKs to play around with still, which in comparison, to the buy in Team Spirit, relatively, I mean, I would say they've got a fairly decent buy on the board. They've still got plenty of utility to utilize. 2 Molotovs, 2 smokes as well. They can definitely use them to kind of cut a site in 2 and expose any Team Spirit players, and that's exactly what they're hoping to do as they wrap back around over towards A. They leave Misto to try and sell something over towards this B site. The only downside is he has wasted all of his utility now selling this fake, but it has paid off for the time being. Still 3 players over towards B, but Team LDLC, they need to be quick and making something happen over towards A, because you can already tell Team Spirit, they've figured them out. They've rotated around Sotfik very preemptively. Kabakin's now playing in and over towards drop, and here it is, the double fake. The fake.
Yeah, the fake to end all fakes. Unfortunately, there are still people waiting, so might work out. Obviously, only 1 player actually on the site itself. Kabakin is going to be over towards drop, so if they can isolate Coldy quickly, the only problem is he's around this statue. And the fact is, as long as he just dances around and just becomes a pain, it's going to take them so long to actually remove him from this situation. You can already see he's just baiting out the time. This is so smart. It's only going to be 8 seconds left, but he's done what he needed to do. Toinu now has to run back in and try and take this 1v2. He doesn't even have time to plant the bomb. He wants that off, you can just tell. He's actually going to take down both players. That's something he doesn't get it. Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, no, I mean, at this point, Team Spirit cannot be disappointed with how they've been able to do this, right? I mean, a 10-4 half, when you said earlier, right, these guys are definitely a better T-side team.
Yeah.
And, getting 10 rounds on their CT side on a map that yesterday they got quite frankly demolished on is an interesting thing. Dima is going to fall early on this time around. The LDLC slowed things down a lot. Still 5 players over here towards B long. Going to be throwing out their smokes and flashes over towards that B site, trying to divide it in 2. But now they fall on back. They've tried to sell this fake. The only issue is they're going to be able to hear these footsteps. The footsteps of the... it's really hard because I can't just say one nationality. the Belgium, Swiss, French, English
European?
team pulling on back. Yeah, I could have said that, but, you know, we're barely even in the EU anymore, hanging on by a damn thread. So, you know, the Europeans plus Alex going to be trying to make something happen over towards A. Sophic says no, and he shuts it down. He is the guardian of the A site, unwavered, unfaltering, and unforgiving in the eye. Oh, he's dead. Never mind. It's going to be a 2-on-3. Existence next to go down, leaving it all on Alex. And Davcost on the CZ will be able to eliminate him. 11-4 in favor of Team Spirit.
Yeah, very dominating half in the end. It looked like after the sort of pistol rounds that maybe LDLC were going to throw something together. I want to point out something that, I don't know if you noticed this from yesterday, but one of the things that I think needed to be exploited was drop control. Yesterday, Space Soldiers had drop control whenever they wanted it. They took it pretty much every single round, whether there were people there or not. And it just seems like LDLC didn't take any note of that, because they didn't really get control of it at all. A lot of the time, they were just going to either one of the sites. Some of the rotations did seem like they worked nicely. One of the rounds they won was actually a lurk play from Existence over on the A site. But a lot of their plays were very, very basic. And I think a lot of their force buys as well were either in the wrong place or just didn't really work at all. So it's just given a huge lead over towards Team Spirit. I think it goes without saying they're going to need to get the pistol. But even then, they're so far behind, and I do like the way that Team Spirit play this T side as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think Team Spirit's T side is phenomenal. I mean, I would... They're definitely a fun team to watch as well. They always kind of bring something new to the table into all of these rounds, and I feel like even, you know, the likes of Existence are going to have trouble adapting to that. So it is going to be interesting to see what they decide to do. Wouldn't surprise me if this is not what I thought they would do. Instead, they go 4 players over towards A. It might pay off though as Bomb and the 3 guys are out towards mid. They spot this early on. Perhaps a little bit of an over aggressive peek coming out from Maniac, who actually runs out into mid, quickly realizes there are bullets flying, and now Alex dies over it long because I don't know what's going on.
Look how far out he was. Look where his body is.
He doesn't care.
That was a suicide play from Alex. Like, if the rest of his team had come with him, okay, it's an aggressive push. But to just run out once your teammates are falling back, that's either lack of communication or just tilt. Because that was insanity what he just attempted to do. Coldy with the D going to be doing a lot of damage. Nice position. Ooh, what a shot. Saves his teammate. Coldy with another. This Deeg working out wonderfully. Not many players can pull this off. Kabakin, this is just cruel. Just waits for the push from Existence. That's going to open up the B site as well, leaving just 2 players over towards A. And yeah, this is looking maybe done already, unless something ridiculous could come out. Look how low they are as well. 30, 43 HP combined. And, well, only 1 man on the site. Maniac, he's got to do a lot. Manages to stop the bomb. That's at least something, but, well, all you do is just play. Davcost. There we
been
go.
able to leave the A site. Davcost. Costing him a lot of time there. He's going to gotta find 1 at least, but now he's still going to worry about these next 2. And no, Coldy's going to be close to finding him, but the timing actually allows him to pass. Mitra going for the backstab here as he makes his way to the site, and it should be Coldy's frag, no problem. Oh, actually misses that first shot, but then does follow it up. 12-4, Team Spirit, they pick up the pistol, and this could be it. We could be arriving at a match point scoreline already on the back of this alone.
Yeah, this is a big problem. Well, not even a problem. This is terrible at the moment. The pistol strategy, I understand what they were trying to do with the aggression, but it just got caught out by the fact there were so many players there, and also Coldy having a deagle. It's not really too common for that to be the case, and normally you have a huge range advantage versus the Glocks. It wasn't there because of that deagle, and now they've just got to try and fight things back with pistols. Now they lose this round, they're going to be 13-4 down, and they have to decide whether they save to finally get a buy on the board or whether they just keep forcing, and then they're in a real problematic situation. They've gone for the A stack. I actually quite like this when rounds you have a force, because obviously if you stack 4 players over towards B, that's sort of just a common strategy, just having 4 players on B, or you either have 4 or 3. That's the norm. So I definitely prefer the sort of A stack. Problem is they've already completely lost control of drop room, and well, they have at least rotated back. I think that's something. I think the aggressive position of Tuanu has given them something to be able to say, okay, they definitely can't be too far forward. And this does mean that their stack's actually going to be fairly effective, especially with this push coming in from behind.
No, I'm going to find a good bit of damage as well. Like you say, all of a sudden, it's quickly 2-on-2. Thanks to those 2 frags from Quebec. How does he know that Toronto was here? That nade slam dunk. Sophic caught it in midair, saved the life to Quebec. And that's going to be Toronto to pick up a second. A nice quick headshot there to dispatch of Quebec. And Sophic, though, the hero.
For him.
Did you see the crush that Sophic has on Quebec? And it's like they're seeing in films where the bodyguard dives in front of the president or whatever. I mean, Sophic there takes that nade like a champ, jumps across, catches it in between his puckered jaws, and proceeds to go down like a hero.
Yeah. I don't remember the next bit in the movie, though, where the president then dies anyway. It's sort of a little bit unfortunate, but it will work out at least. This is an interesting buy coming out from the T side. They're going to invest into 2 AKs, try and bring things back straight away. Now, this could actually be a lifeline for LDLC. They managed to win the follow-up, which is, of course, very, very important for them having any chance whatsoever. But then, now this sort of investment from Team Spirit, if it doesn't work out, which it shouldn't, because they basically have a few players that don't have anything to play with, then you kind of leave them in a little bit of a void where a few rounds should go the other way. Nice shot from Kwanu. We'll start things off. He's going to get a second as well, but it's quickly traded out. However, with these rifles in play at the moment, it should be relatively easy to close this down. Coldy going to look to try and finish things off, and now it's Davkos, the man who literally only had a deagle going into this round. That is going to be done and dusted.
Yeah, LDLC to pick up their 6th. At least it's better than nothing. Team Spirit going to have to finally relish in their bad economic scenario. It will be a bit of a grit their teeth around here as they just go with the majority on those Glocks. A couple of PT-50s brought up to try and wreak some havoc, but for the most part, they should be falling prey a little bit to the SMG on existence and the rifles brought up by LDLC. It should be an easy 7th round here, hoping to get a plant down. And actually, as the aggression comes out mid, they might get punished for this. Hopefully enough Maniac in existence able to mop things up, making quick work of these ecoing players. PT-50 on Quebec and the Glock on Deem are all that's left.
Yeah, it should be easy clean-up from here on out. Only the Glock left. A couple of low players. Maniac actually still pushing. Going to go for the shots, but it will not connect. So LDLC going to build up a nice amount of cash. MP9 on existence. Probably won't make it into the next round. I wouldn't mind if it did, because I do like these sort of aggressive SMG plays. But we can actually see, there we go. They're going to pick up the AWP existence. We'll have the FAMAS instead. And now we finally get to see a buy on Spirit. Now, it's still lacking in some utility. They've got a few smokes, a Molotov onto Sopfig and Dima. But other than that, it is still a little bit behind what the norm would be, what the 4 buy would be, that sort of 4,900 buy that we expect to see. On the other side of things, plenty bought up, but there's still a Galil and a FAMAS, which, if anything, are probably worse than a UMP.
Yeah, I mean, they have definitely fallen out of favor. The UMP is better at those closer ranges. The push going to be coming on in, and this is where the UMP would come in very handy, but it's just going to be a complete shutdown. Twano falls as well. Coldy with some very strong entries, and already LDLC going to have to think about saving. They get completely locked out of the site. They lose everyone. And I mean, holding onto these rifles is going to be kind of a saving grace for them if they can.
Yeah, they've just got to fall back. Unfortunately, the 2 weapons that they're actually saving at the moment are the 2 that I was sort of highlighting as not better than a UMP. So, not really the best weapons to be holding on to. Hopefully, they can trade that up, maybe get that AWP back. That would be the big hitter. I think it's actually been picked up by Davkos, so that's not going to be happening anytime soon. And the worrying thing about this round is just Coldy very easily able to entry onto the site, and they may even keep all 5 players alive, which shouldn't really be happening ever. Like, you'd hope that that would never happen for a CT-sided team with a 4 buy, that they're not going to kill anybody and not even do much damage either. So, wonderful round from Team Spirit, very, very quick paced, but the problem now, well, they just saved so much money. I do have to say that maybe if they could just win straight back and come back into this one, they could actually do more of a reset. But you have to remember, even with just losing straight out, there's going to be 1,400, so there'll be enough for every player over on that T side to get an AK.
Yeah, AK and the AWP on Davkos. Now, that's something that's been Yeah, a little bit quieter this game than perhaps we were used to in the previous match on Nuke, but still, it's going to be contributing to it nonetheless. And right now, Sophic over towards Drop trying to kickstart this. It's going to be facing off against Alex. And the AK definitely going to be more favored in this engagement. Down in towards Drop, and Alex is going to fall on back, opting to play things more passively. Smoke goes down. It is going to give Drop down control to the way of Spirit. And now this is where things become a real issue. Pop Flash does allow them to make their way through. Alex at least might be able to find one. That does shut out one of these players. Kabakin's still there, though. He should be able to refrag this, and he does. So that's going to isolate these players over towards B now. When it comes to the rotate, Misto trying to deal with Kabakin if he can. Bomb now making his way over towards A, and Kabakin's going to actually keep the aggression going instead of holding Drop. He's going to make it very hard for these players to rotate from B, essentially leaving these two guys on A to hold down the fort on their own. Well, Maniac's going to fall into one existence to hold the fort, and Davkos says no. P250 beats Famis every time. He falls over towards Long. And Misto and Tuano, I think, are just going to have to save once again.
Yeah, once more. They are going to have to fall back. At least they're going to be able to save the AWP. That's something, but, well, again, 4 players currently alive for the Team Spirit side. They've taken over this A site by storm. A couple of low players, but not really going to be anything too problematic, and this will put them edging their way towards map point. 14-7 is inevitable, and, well, they're going to have quite a lot of cash to actually try and continue forward with. Now, on the CT side, they will get themselves 1900. With the 2 weapons saved, they should still have a buy on the board as well, with Mistu being able to drop, and Maniac and Existence could just buy themselves, so not too much of a problem overall. The big thing is the scoreline at this point. You're 7 rounds behind. What was initially a good start seems to just be the follow-up rounds to what was that 4-spy win, and then the just sort of 2 weaker rounds that came afterwards for Spirit, and then they've just been straight back on the plow, pushing forward and leaving it 14-7, 2 rounds needed.
Yeah, I mean, if LDLC do go ahead and lose this one, their economy is going to be in dire straits for the last round of the game, potentially. So, you know, this round more crucial than ever for LDLC. Trying to keep them in this. If they do win it, they won't even ruin the economy of Team Spirit. They'll have to stave off yet another round after this before they have too much of an impact. Now, look at this. Out to, oh, never mind. Sophic did make his way on out, but Misto quick to shut that down. Says, nope, no sneaky beaky like today. Does eliminate that one player. Now Team Spirit pushing out over towards Long. Smoke's going to go down to deny it for the time being, but you've still got to worry about Kabakin in their backline. It's exerting some pressure over towards Drop, and that's preventing 2 of these players from rotating just yet. You've also got Tuano over towards Platform, and having someone on this position while you're having to worry about Drop does mean that no one from B can basically rotate off, at least not fast enough. The only player who's in a great position to do that is Alex. But it does only mean there's 1 additional player over towards A if the push does come underway. And the bomb rotating around to rejoin the rest of the team in mid, it does look like A is going to be the site in question.
See, this time the man advantage is with the CT side. It does mean that they can rotate an extra player over towards this A site, so Existence will already be here and waiting alongside Maniac. Now, you're going to see these nades thrown in by the T's. There's no flank, no one holding the rotation at all. It is just going to be this push, and that Molotov really hasn't helped them very much at all. In fact, it's just slowed down the push. They are going to be making their way forward, and actually the rotation is pretty slow, but luckily Existence will start things off. Another for the in-game leader of the team. Alex is going to be holding, but they haven't really cleaned too much out. The site still has a sneaky beaky Maniac to hide in. He will be able to get one, but I don't even think there's enough time for him to get the bomb and actually fall back. And, well, even if there was, Mistu's going to be pushing back in to finish him off. Nice hold there. I have to say, Existence and Maniac, very, very well done to actually hold that off versus the pushing players. I do have to point out that I feel like that Molotov kind of slowed them down a little bit. Like, obviously, it left one player completely isolated over towards Long. But either way, it's a round. That's what LDLC need. Again, they're still lying in a very horrible position. If they lose this round, they've got no money once again.
Yeah, it basically gives Team Spirit a second chance at trying to secure themselves the victory over LDLC. LDLC have to pick this one up if they want to reset the Team Spirit economy, but that could be their foot back into the door here. They deny Team Spirit the match point. Not only that, they also succeed in ruining the economy, but the smokes and flashes raiding in towards B. The hold has to be on point. So far, it hasn't been too strong, but Tuano looking to try and kickstart this. They don't account for Coldly with the spray transfer over God. He nearly finds another, but it's Misto over towards Chicky. Keeps to shut this down, leaving it all on Kabakin 1v2. He pivots, finds the first, but then Misto there to trade. That was uncomfortably close.
This is so scrappy.
14-9.
What is going on in this game? It's just turned into the battle of who can spray down the most players at once. Mr. very calm and collected with the kills he gets towards the end. But that was ridiculously close. Coldy looking like he could have even just switched onto the third player and got a triple there. And this is ridiculous at this point in time. Not knowing until the very last second which way the round is going to be going. Back to pistols, however, for Spirit. A lifeline for the French org. And we will see whether or not anything can actually be done. Now, we have seen a smoke actually going in towards door. An aggressive push. Looks like it's about to be made, but interestingly, I think this is more of a fake. Just going to have the players pushing back in towards A. You can see the position of the bomb. Just going to be waiting. See if any move is actually made. They're trying to get control of drop. Maybe the smoke is actually just to block anybody out from actually holding drop from a more passive angle. But either way, they are going to be making their way forward. The split will begin. Crossfire in place at the moment, and Existence and Alex will shut things down. Again, nice positioning in this round, and while the weaponry just not there for Team Spirit to really do anything else, tapping away, Existence will go down to 15 HP, but he gets his third of the round. That will mean that they get themselves to double digits.
One thing I do like about Team Spirit is they're not letting the fact that they have been doing, above and beyond what LDLC have been doing thus far get to their heads. We're not seeing them get too confident. That round was a complete change of pace, and it was a lot more tactical. The idea, of course, to make your way through connector, try and make something happen out towards that A site. That, they're still giving a lot of respect the way of these players, and I think that's just down to the fact of how experienced they are, how they, could come back from this. And a lot of teams, I think, we would just see be really confident until the point that they become tilted, and then it all just goes downhill. Team Spirit, though, unwavering in that regard. They are just going to be looking to try and close this out as swiftly as they can. Right now, the LDLC making that very hard for them. Have erected a bit of a defense until now. Maniac goes down towards long. It's an early man advantage, and look at this. They're very, very preemptively rotating two players off of B. We're probably going to see Tuano hold over towards drop, and that's exactly going to be the case. He can now swiftly rotate between connector and the A site. Alex going to be posted up on A, but the man advantage has been seized by Team Spirit early on, and LDLC haven't had to play with a man deficit in the rounds they have won in quite some time.
Yeah, this will be, well, basically the point of can they actually react to the way this has gone. And one of the ways they have reacted is the abandonment of drop, at least for a little while. Pretty in position. Existence is going to be rotating back over towards his B site, and rightly so. The problem will be Coldy. Now, he has been phenomenal in this game so far, 25 and 14. He is going to be looking, try and just be the thorn in their side, waiting over towards long to see if anybody will actually rotate back. There is still a player around his area, but we're just going to see the push onto the site in the meantime. Flank already coming in from Kabak, and will catch up one more. It's back to a 2 versus 2, but Coldy is nowhere near the action, and also nowhere near the bomb. Kabak going to be spraying onto Tuanu, who does have himself the AWP. Kabak is just too quick. Will he expect Alex? Oh, he will eventually, but he's a little bit too slow to react. And now, with only seconds left, Alex is running for the hills. See you later, buddy. Coldy not having any of this. He's not going to have time to plant the bomb.
Yeah, that's 14-11 in LDLC. They're making this competitive here. He does save the AWP up. It wouldn't surprise me if they go for the force. If they wait for this, Coldy's going to be on a double eco potentially. So Davkos going to be buying down a little bit. We might actually just see them buy down to $2,000. Buy something behind the AWP, please. You got enough money to. You have to, you're going to have two players on a fairly bad buy in the next round anyway. They bought down to a relatively safe amount anyway. We have got a little bit of armor to play around with.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this is fine. It's just because Kabak and Coldy both didn't pick up armor, and I was very confused. And now they have. They've invested a little bit more. But already Davkos going to be tagged down low. 27 HP, the man with the AWP. The man with the plan and trying to keep Team Spirit in this round.
Yeah, going to be up close. We saw him use this position yesterday, and it's actually going to be the lineup of the smoke. This could be a free kill for him, but he actually fades back. Coldy's still going to be through the edge of this smoke. Oh, who's the timing going to get the better of in this situation? Maniac actually going to fall back. And he's going to come fading through. Existence will take the bullet to the face for his teammate. The push from behind will mean Dima gets himself a kill as well. Sophic actually only on a Glock at the moment in this round. Just going to be the utility man. Davkos with that AWP going to try and get close and personal with the P250. But Misto through the doors will add another. And, well, Sophic just going to be looking to try and get something to play with, really. Gets himself a deagle at least, but caught reloading. That's just an unlucky round for him, really, isn't it?
I mean, the thing that interested me is that Davkost had a PT-50 and an AWP. You think he could have just shared a little bit? You know, you had Sophic, poor Sophic, he's just running around with his Glock out, and that never ends well for anyone. So, 14-12 now. LDLC doing a great job of having their resurgence in the second half over on their CT side. They have won 8 rounds. I want 5 of which consecutively in these rifle rounds. Team Spirit really need to try and elevate themselves a little bit now back into this, or else I think we could definitely either see LDLC take this 16-14 or perhaps see it go through to overtime, seeming the more likely of the two. They're lining up smokes and flashes over towards B. It looks like they're just going to try and cut the site in half, go aggressive. The aggro hasn't really been working out too well for them. Let's see if this round's going to be any different. Lucky enough for them, they have isolated a lot of these players. Misto's on the site alone. The smoke's rendering everyone else useless. And Dima, the first player to peek on out, does find Misto. He goes down trying to play up close and personal with the smoke. They continue. Bomb's going to go down as well. The man advised now in favor of Team Spirit, but Coldy's tagged. Just firing through the smoke, though he still managed to find a chance frag as Twano bites the dust. He goes down. The man advised to be seized. Spirit in a very convincing manner. No trades coming through, and LDLC just going to fall on back and elect to save into this one. Team Spirit will arrive at match point 15-12. LDLC, providing they can save the 2 AWPs in the M4, will have a buy, a fairly strong buy as well into the next round, but Kabakan's looking to try and make things costly as he goes on the hunt.
They're looking to try and take some of these weapons out of their hands. Kabakan is in a decent position to do just that. Maniac just around the corner, and that's one of the AWPs down. It will be quickly traded out by Existence. They're not going to be able to pick that back up. It does mean that the buy is going to be a little bit worse. You save those 3 weapons, you drop him for 2. Instead, they've got to drop for 3. I think Misto's going to be fine to actually buy, and he's going to drop a UMP and then get himself a weapon on the board, so not too much of a problem. They will have the triple UMP set up. Actually, they bought one too many, so it will be a rifle pick back up for Alex as well. Both teams' economy still on the brink. I think the T's in a little bit of a better situation just because obviously their buy is a little bit cheaper and they do have a bit of money that they spared in the previous round. But all it takes is one now. This is all they need. They can finish this game right here, right now. They already won the first map on Nuke. Convincing T side. They're looking to do the same with the convincing CT side over on Cobble.
Up over towards B right now. They do peek on out back and just poking his face over the top here, but it's Sophic to go down first. Falling to the ground like a man giggling with a hand on his chin. He's going to be going down early on. Now Dima down in was dropped. No one's going to be watching it just yet. And as a result, he might be able to get a couple of frags on the back of this. You can see that 2 players now actually down over here. Both Coldy and Dima. The power duo for Team Spirit. Going to be trying to maintain this. 45 seconds left for them to play around with. And for the time being, they're fairly trapped in drop down. If they can make their way out through window, it benefit them. And instead, they're just going to look to try and go out through the hole. And it is going to pay off. Dima gets that first. Now Twano's going to find Kabakan in the meantime. But then there's Davkost to swiftly trade that one back into a 3-on-3. Existence tries to go aggressive, but he gets shut down as well. Still, Alex on the side. He's been working his way around short perfectly, but he falls at the hand of Coldy, leaving it all on Maniac. 1v3. At this point, Alex or Twano just spamming E on him. Please, no. Coley's going to get that frag. And that'll be Spirit. 16-12. LDLC did look very strong in those latter stages. But ultimately, it will be Team Spirit taking this map as well as the first on Nuke, meaning they win the series 2-0.
Yeah, it came a little bit close for comfort towards the end. We actually saw a nice streak of 5 rounds coming in for the CTs, but eventually it was Team Spirit to take things over the line with just a lot of aggressive pushes. I think it was the slower rounds that actually caught them out a little bit more, where they were running out of time and things just didn't seem to go their way. But when they sped things up again, that was where they pretty much just finished things off. We saw some nice plays from Coldy, had a very, very good game, and it was Davkost to finish things in the end. But this is only the first match. We've got another one coming up. We've got the wonderful Space Soldiers facing off against QB Fire. That is Quantum Bellator, I think. And we'll be coming back to that one relatively shortly. Although I think we will have a little bit of a break because this match did actually finish quite quickly in a 2-0.